On 30th November 2023, the joint military operations against the Allied Democratic Forces ADF rebels, codenamed Operation Soja, marked 2 years. The operation is conducted jointly by Uganda People's Defense Forces (UPDF) and Congolese Fadaka Army in Ituri and North Kivu provinces in eastern DR Congo. In this end-of-year special report on defense, I look at the hiccups and gains of UPDF operations in DRC, Somalia, and the withdrawal of the East African Standby Force from DR Congo. Before the start of Operation Soja, the insecurity in eastern DR Congo was marked by kidnappings and savage killings attributed to the ADF rebel group. ADF conflict had consistently damaged the country's ability to improve education and healthcare facilities for years in DRC. 2 years now, UPDF is working tirelessly within the framework of Operation Soja to end the sufferings of civilians from both countries against the violence inflicted on Congolese civilians by the Ugandan-based rebel group, the ADF. Infantry troops have continued the operation to pursue the ADF from their hideout in eastern DR Congo that have been a threat for decades. The operation began on November 30, 2021, with the Sector 1 from Nobil Mukakati, Kamango up to Semriki under the command of Lieutenant General Kayanja Muhanga.
This joint operation with the FADC, we found people had run out of their homes, they had run away, they had gone to IDPCs. The roads were impassable because there were many enemy ambushes. People were losing their property, they had lost their properties. The enemy had taken their children for recruitment. In fact, the enemy controlled, that's the ADF controlled all these areas we have been visiting.
Kwa nini mimi iko porini naumia? Si ndio kila mtu mmetaja sehemu nimefanya kazi? Yes. Si nimeita majina ya kila sehemu nimefanya kazi.
However, the dynamics of ADF movement under Major General D. Kolum, UPDF has expanded its operations to Sector 4, stretching to Luna, Elengeti, Commander Road.
Commander, especially the big names of Baluku, Kasivante, Luminsa, all those areas, the Amigos, the Buakasi, those are the extremist leaders who have caused all this mayhem. All internally displaced camps in Boga, in Chabi, in Kainama have all been evacuated.
Mountain Division and Operation Soja Commander Major General D. Kolum has camped at Luna in Sector 4, commanding and strategizing the final onslaught against Abuakasi and Amigo group.
And the Congolese military, FRDC, have done a lot in terms of decimating and reducing the numbers of the ADF and reducing their will to fight.
After UPDF killed ADF top commander known as Molalo, the splinter ADF rebel group of about 30 under the command of Abuakasi moved from Malika Valley and hid towards Sector 4, dodging UPDF troops and made several attacks against Congolese civilians in search of food and medicines. Despite the hiccups, Operation Soja is bearing fruits, largely attributed to deployment and setting up small detached units to combat the enemy from Sector 1 to Sector 4 in key areas of Malika Valley, Karuruma, Mayongose, Elengeti, Luna, Kafeza, Ikimba, Mukanza, Nabomboli, Musei, Kalembo, Botembo, and along Kasindi Beni Road. UPDF forces have secured areas of Katembe, Baida, Borasi, Kainama, Tondoli, Semriki, Nyakabale, Mitego, Marulu, Rutete, Mutwanga, Baliria, up to Zunguluka. The joint forces have been able to rescue abducted civilians, both children and women. Schools have opened and places of worship.
Asante sana, muendelee kusaidia na wengine viko kule mpori wengine washabebewa.
Nalala mzuri sana, watu wanalala mzuri. Lakini watu wenyewe walikimbilia huko Kumbukani, Kubangiti, Bunia. Sasa wamekwisha anza kurudi moja moja.
2023 Operation Soja major achievement was the killing of ADF top commanders, among them Lubanga Kene, Molalo, and the taking over Malika Valley and the general areas of Karuruma, which was the food basket for entire ADF command and its strategic location.
For a long time, the ADF had taken this area as a playground for them. The general areas from Eringeti to Ndalia to Mambelenga to Otomaber to Ndimo, Ndimo to Ido, Ido to Manzobe, Manzobe up to Kamanda. That has been a playground for the ADF. Why? One, because they had a lot of food. Two, because there was no follow-up, serious follow-up. But thank God now the joint forces have come around. It's time for us to open up Sector 4. It's time for us to go into the 4th sector and to ensure we follow up these guys who have caused a lot of atrocities, a lot of suffering to people who have been deserting all their homesteads.
Few ADF pockets under Njovu and Musakamusi crossed into Kamwenge through Kasese and entered the Chibali National Park, causing mayhem. On December 3, 2023, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, directed UPDF forces to launch an operation inside the Chibali National Park to track down 7 suspected ADF rebels. 222 Mountain Brigade, under the command of Colonel Sulanda Bimanya, began the operation in the general areas of Kamwenge district. The forces continued to follow the footsteps of Kamusi until on Wednesday, 27th December 2023, when UPDF tracking forces exchanged gunshot fire with the enemy, and the daredevil commander of the ADF Kamusi did not survive the UPDF firepower in the battle, where 4 UPDF soldiers were also injured.
Terrorist commander Kamus, Musa Kamus, whom we have been hunting, was put out of action, and another terrorist who we did not identify.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, directed the immediate recruitment of local defense unit LD personnel as a way of curbing insecurity in Kamwenge and the bordering districts. This was in the statement read by the defense spokesperson, Brigadier General Felix Kraije, during the media briefing at the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs in Mbuya. Kraije, acknowledging the existing gaps in security in the district of Kamwenge, Kitagwenda, Munyangabu, and Kasese, among others.
His Excellency the President of Uganda and the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF has directed for the reactivation of local defense structures in the areas surrounding Chibali National Park and the Greater Rwenzori sub-region to protect communities against these attacks.
Our interest in Kamwenge is because Kamwenge district, actually even Kitagwenda, Bunyangabo, they all border Chibali National Park, where we had these small elements. So we are beginning with Kamwenge, and we are particularly targeting some counties that are bordering the forest Chibali National Park.
In another development that made headlines this year ending, the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF, serving under African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, handed over Somalian State House and the Parliament security, giving responsibility to Somalian security forces after 16 years. This was an historic achievement for the African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, a testimony to the Somali government to prove capability built over the years of training to protect their own country. Haruna Mtesasira, 2023 end of year special report.